October the 14th, 2020. Guys, you're looking live into one of the CERN computers, and this is called the Awake Proton Beam. It's been shut down as well as all the other computers that we get to see since 2018, and at that point, they had reached what was called peak luminosity. And we're dealing with fallen angel technology here, and we've seen it throughout history. And they are talking about possibly coming back online, but again, they shut down, as far as we know, in 2018. And what they've done is they fed all the information from billions of particle collisions over that time frame up into 2018 into supercomputers. And it takes that much of quantum computing and other things to take this energy, digest it, and put it into readable graphs to where humans can understand it. You understand what I'm saying? So they're starting to put out articles about it. And I've said from day one, and I've covered CERN as much as anybody on the internet, that it was a fallen angel technology again that was trying to reopen the gate, or the veil, as many call it, that God closed. And so man is even guilty. It's not just fallen angels. They use man and men and women to try to advance their needs or try to finance their research, if you want to put it that way. And this doesn't get talked about much. It's kind of such a large organization that they don't even pay taxes, the people that work there. But guys, it's international, colleges, high schools supported all around the world. And they say that they're exploring the Big Bang Theory. And that theory is about as non-scientific as evolution. Okay? The only Big Bang that was heard then was when God slammed that door on these fallen angels. And they heard a Big Bang and they were kicked out. And they've tried since that point to find a way through matter. And they know it's not like magic, a witch, or a warlock, or something like that. There's something that happens. The same thing that happened to Adam and Eve in our last stories, to where when they were kicked out of the garden, guys, they wanted back in. You know, they could no longer see the angels or hear them sing. They'd never seen the darkness and felt the heat and hunger. They wanted back in. So do the fallen angels. And so you've got two groups. Adam, the bloodline of Christ, the direct descendant of God. God made him. That group that you see, that possibly some of the people that want to go to Mars on vacation or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? They want to try to find a way back. But it's a physical and a spiritual interaction that was separated when God did this. Again, that was the Big Bang, that foot kicking that door on these fools that tried to take over heaven, and then the ones in the garden that wouldn't listen to God. And so a lot of crap got started, and we are living in the end results of that. So with CERN, they have tried 100 different ways, millions of different ways probably, how to tie back in the spiritual and the matter. You understand what I'm saying? Photon, not proton energy, light energy and matter, because that was the separation that God did. You were cast into matter, out of the light being. They went back in. Right now they're desperate. Why? Because when Christ sets his foot down during that 1,000-year millennium, they're going to be locked away for 1,000 years, guys, and then released at the end of that for a short period to fool who they may. Pity those fools. But guys, it's desperation. He knows he has but a short time, and he's raging back and forth. And they fear, they're trying to escape this physical realm back through what many call the Stargate. But it's an interaction between light energy and matter. And what they found out, and I'm going to read you some information from this year, is that instead of watching just the high-speed collisions, these high proton energy collisions, that there was another force that was lurking below the surface. And this is coming from a couple of years of supercomputer analogy, guys, to where they are now getting information. And so in their desperation, this new force that I'm going to read to you about, they think maybe because it's much weaker, but it lasts a little longer. Maybe that's the key that God locked. Unfortunately for them, nothing they can do, no weapon will succeed. Nothing is going to change it. But in their desperation, they will try to break it. And as we saw up into 2018, if you saw my videos then, there were at least 100 showing the magnetic shields collapsing on our planet as they ran at high energy. You guys remember that? If you don't, all of those videos were taken down. Thousands and thousands of them were at one time. Not by me. But they were, at that time, again, they reached peak luminosity. And they were trying, and they still have colliders all over our planet. But the one that we're talking about, CERN, that has Atlas, one of the largest sections, is the largest in the world. But now they're starting to get some of this new information back. Let's go to one of those articles. Now you can type this in, just look up CERN or home.CERN, and this is going to give you the information that they post to the public. And this one, August the 5th this year, and it says, there's a rare phenomenon observed by Atlas, features the LHC as a high-energy photon collider. Notice photon, not proton. Photon is the light energy. Read between the lines with me, guys. The Atlas experiment reports the observation of photon collisions producing weak, this is different, force carriers, and provides further insights into their interactions. Again, I've studied it a long time, studied the Bible a long time. So just, again, it's my opinion only, but hear me out. And this is a picture, and you've seen it many times. This is of Atlas, some of the computer readings of the explosions and the quarks and the muons and the God particles and all that. But what they're seeing now is during the International Conference on High Energy Physics, ICEP 2020, the Atlas collaboration presented the first observations of photon collisions producing pairs of W bosoms. Elementary particles that carry, listen again, the word weak force, not the high energy light force that your spirit is made of, but they're trying to find how God locked the door, and they want to unlock it before Jesus Christ comes back. They're trying to escape, and they will destroy the planet trying to do it. Let me say this again. It says this demonstrates a new way of using the LHC, but they're picking up this a pair of W bosoms, or elementary particles that carry the weak force, one of the four fundamental forces. The result demonstrates a new way of using the LHC, namely as a high-energy photon collider directly probing electroweak interactions. It confirms one of the main predictions of electroweak theory, that force carries or can interact with themselves, and provides new ways to probe it. According to the laws of classical electrodynamics, two intersecting light beams would not deflect or absorb or disrupt one another. However, effects of the quantum electrodynamics, called QED, the theory that explains how light and matter interact, allows interactions among photons. What did I just read? The theory that explains how light energy and matter interact. That was the separation that God made, and they want to find out how he did it so they can get back out of it. In other words, how did he change us from light beings into the matter beings, as well as Adam and Eve and us? The fallen angels want to know that too. They want to escape, because when he comes back, the game is over. They want out, like a prison break. Indeed, it is not the first time that photons interacting at high energies have been studied at the LHC. For instance, light being light scattering, where a pair of photons interact by producing another pair of photons, is one of the oldest predictions of the QED. The first direct evidence of light by light scattering was reported by Atlas in 2017. Exploiting the strong electromagnetic field surrounding lead ions, guys. This is what they were doing, and we were watching our magnetic shields pull down to the poles in both the north and south. Exploiting the strong electromagnetic field surrounding lead ions into high-energy lead-lead collisions in 2019 and 2020, Atlas further studied the process by measuring its properties. So that's telling you right there, they are still doing some experiments, and we're not getting all that information, but it's about how did God separate the light energy and the matter, and how did he throw the light energy into the world of matter and slam that door they call the Big Bang Theory. But guys, the world of politics as we see it now, the worldwide movement, is all a part of this. It's leading to what's called the Luciferian doctrine. We're watching it, you watch it, guys. We'll keep an update on this, and as soon as they crank back up and let us know about it, we can start covering it and the effects of Earth shields, because it is a devastating effect if you've never seen it. It's a heads up. Be safe.